You are in direct violation of the bylaws. This damage is your responsibility. Actually, the permit states the HOA is responsible for foundation repairs.
The first time I realized Karen was serious, it was May 3, 2024 at 6:12 a.m., and my front porch light was still on when a tow truck rolled slow past my driveway like a shark. Cold air bit my cheeks. The driver's amber lights flashed on my garage door. I could smell wet asphalt from the overnight rain and that burned coffee smell from my travel mug. He leaned out and asked, "You the guy with the violations?" Then he pointed at a bright orange sticker slapped on my mailbox like I was some kind of criminal. By 9:00 a.m., I was standing in the lobby of our little HOA office, holding a letter that said I owed $50 per day until the cracked concrete was fixed. Not my front walk. Not my driveway. The courthouse steps sidewalk. The literal sidewalk that leads to the county courthouse across the street. I had to say it out loud to believe it. HOA fined me daily for cracked concrete on the courthouse steps sidewalk. Then I filed the permit. Karen, our board president, smiled like she'd been waiting her whole life to say this sentence. "You're the closest homeowner. That means you're responsible." I blinked so hard my eyes hurt. That sidewalk had a seal stamped into it that said county property. I tried to be normal about it at first. I went to the next meeting on May 7, 2024, wore a clean shirt, and brought photos of the crack with a tape measure showing it was 2 inches wide at most. I even offered to put down a warning cone until the county fixed it. Karen cut me off mid-sentence like I was a kid talking during a movie. Rules are rules. The treasurer stared at his hands. 2 neighbors whispered and wouldn't meet my eyes. I asked the board to show me the rule where I'm responsible for county concrete. Karen slid a paper across the table like a dealer. Complaint count, 12. Fine balance as of today, $200. Pay it, then appeal. I said that's backwards. Karen said you should have thought of that before letting it crack. Like I personally woke up one morning and punched the sidewalk. The next week got ugly fast. On April 5, a police officer knocked on my door at 4:27 a.m., flashlight bouncing off my hallway walls, asking if I was outside smashing concrete. I was in socks, half asleep, heart racing like a drum. My cat was hiding under the couch. The officer looked embarrassed and said, "Sorry, we got a report." And Karen stood on her porch watching like it was fireworks. That's when I drew my line in the sand. I wasn't doing anything shady. No vandal stuff. No prank war. I was going to use proper channels only, because the minute you get messy, people like Karen win by pointing and yelling. So I started collecting everything. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. Every notice. Every fine. Every time I tried to talk and got ignored. I even printed the HOA email where Karen wrote, "Pressure makes people comply." On May 14, 2024, I walked into City Hall and asked for the permit desk. The clerk looked up like she'd seen this movie before. I told her I wanted to fix a crack on the courthouse steps sidewalk. Her eyebrows went up. She said, "You mean the county right-of-way?" I said yes, and I slid my address across the counter, because Karen kept claiming the problem was mine. The clerk didn't argue. She handed me a public records request form and said, "If you want the full history, ask for the right-of-way maps and maintenance responsibility." 2 days later, the file landed with 63 pages. There were plats, easements, and a maintenance log showing the county facilities department owned that stretch, not me, not the HOA, not even our neighborhood. I highlighted the parts like I was studying for a test. Then I filed a permit application anyway, because here's the twist Karen didn't see coming: my permit didn't make me responsible. It forced an inspector to come out and officially mark who was responsible. On May 20, 2024 at 10:18 a.m., the city inspector arrived with a clipboard and a face like a tired dad. Karen came out wearing a crisp blazer like she was about to cut a ribbon. She tried to take over the conversation. "This homeowner is delaying repairs. We are fining him daily." The inspector didn't even look at me at first. He walked straight to the courthouse steps sidewalk, tapped the crack with his boot, and then pointed at the stamped seal. County property. He turned to Karen and said, "Do you have a permit to direct work on this right-of-way?" Karen laughed, like permits were a cute hobby. The inspector's smile disappeared. He said, "You can't fine a resident for public infrastructure. And if you've been filing false enforcement notices to push payment, that's a problem." Then I pulled out my binder and flipped to my labeled notes like a magician revealing the last card. Timeline item 1 April 5th at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Timeline item 2 May 3rd at 6:12 a.m. tow threat. Timeline item 3 May 7th board denial. The inspector's eyes narrowed. I said one simple line I'd practiced in my car: patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. That's when the crowd showed up. A couple of neighbors had already heard Karen was finally getting checked, and they came outside like it was a free show. One guy started filming on his phone. Someone behind me whispered, "Get her." Karen's cheeks went the color of a stop sign. She tried to switch tactics and act sweet. "This is just about community standards." The inspector asked her to say on record that she personally issued daily fines for county property. She stuttered. The clerk from the city office had come too, holding my permit packet like it was evidence in a courtroom. The inspector called the county facilities number right there on speaker. A calm woman answered and said, "Yes, we have that sidewalk on our maintenance schedule. We received multiple complaints recently from an HOA contact." Karen tried to grab the inspector's clipboard. He stepped back like she was a raccoon reaching for his lunch. By June 2, 2024, every fine against me was wiped, and the HOA had to send a letter to all residents saying the courthouse steps sidewalk was not within HOA control. Karen didn't get to sign it. The board held a special meeting and voted her out after the city sent a warning about harassment and misuse of enforcement. The police officer who'd been at my door at 4:27 a.m. even stopped by later, not in a scary way, just to say, "We noted the pattern. Please call us if it happens again." The county repaired the crack a week later, clean and smooth, and put up a little orange cone like my original idea. The best part was the quiet after. No tow trucks circling. No orange stickers. One neighbor brought me banana bread and said, "Sorry we didn't speak up sooner." I stood on my porch, breathing in fresh-cut grass, and watched kids hop over the new concrete line like it was a tiny finish line for a better summer. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.